is a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
Hi guys, Angreifer here, and this is a DC Legends video. In this video, I am going to go over like some Siege, I guess tips, but it's more like about the bonus characters. I do a full thing on Siege basically in my beginner's guide that I did a while ago, maybe like 6 months ago. Maybe I should update that guide a little bit, just so it looks a little better at minimum. But in any case, so I'm going to go over 3 of the toons that are in the Siege. And the reason why is not because I think that they're particularly better than the other ones off like just first sight. It's just that these are the 3 that I have 70-11. So the ones for the Siege toons, bonus toons, are Batman, Jace Fox, who of course I don't have. Spoiler, Stephanie Brown, of course I don't have her. Two-Face and the Riddler, which I have both of them, and I have enough frags to take them L3, L4, whatever, but they're not even leveled up to level 60. So, and another thing that I'm doing, and just like kind of like a sneak tip, sometimes it's worth it to level up or boost up a toon for a Siege, especially if there's a toon that you really want to go after. I really want Batman Jace Fox. He looks amazing. The more I like read through his kit, the more it seems like he's going to be really good. So in my mind, if you are trying to build up your toons to have a bonus toon for Siege, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I'm going to give you my thought process as to why I'm not doing that for Riddler and Two-Face and Black Canary, who I have 60-10, but all of my other toons are 70-11, so I might be able to drop her in 1 or 2 Siege battles, but I don't think it's really going to matter, because in Siege, the most important thing is, at least on the first missions, on the first battles, is not to lose a character. So before we get into all that, I drop DC Legends videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Raid Shadow Legends videos weekly, and Marvel Future Revolutions videos every Tuesday and Thursday. So please like, please subscribe, and if you don't like it, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. So now, as we get into it, first thing about Siege. Siege isn't going on right now. Actually, Raid is going on right now, and I was going to do a video of Superwoman versus Spectre in Raid. There was a suggestion by a viewer. I can still do that video, but to be honest, Superwoman is still the queen of Raid. So like, she was like doubling up and quadrupling Spectre's stats, even though Spectre had 2 times the damage on her. So like, I would put her in a 5x battle next to Spectre with different affinities just to try to match them up, and she would still be doing double, sometimes quadruple the damage she was doing, and he's a 2x toon in this raid. So she's got it. She's queen. So anyway, so basically the idea here is, first let me tell you why I am not going to level up Jace. Or no, not going to level up Jace, but not going to level up Two-Face or Riddler. At least I'm not going to make a rush to it. Number 1, I'm not too convinced by either of the toons. Their kits seem to be good. However, like, Riddler's a debuffer. He's a straight up debuffer, and if anybody's running around with debuff immunity, especially Terra, it's going to be kind of hard to get him going to benefit your team. Like, not hard, but not exactly easy either. There are other options that might work out better, and it will require me to burn those resources. Same thing with Two-Face. Two-Face, I'm not really up for Two-Face anyway, because his entire kit, much like the character, is based on a coin flip, 50-50. And if I'm going to build a team that includes Two-Face, I need to know whether he's going to be Harvey or Two-Face. I can't go into it with him being, with the idea that he's going to be Harvey and he's going to be supporting all of my toons, when he turns out to be Two-Face and he's trying to debuff everyone. That throws it off a little bit. Now, you probably can build a team to make it work. I'm just saying, like, for me, that's a no-go, especially in Siege. In Siege, having a toon like Two-Face or Riddler, ones that I don't know so well, or if I don't know how good they're going to do, I'm going to be experimenting with them in Siege. And Siege is not the place where you experiment with toons. Wraith is where you experiment with toons, because you have frags up there to, that you're trying to get to, but Wraith is not nearly as difficult as Siege, and it doesn't punish you nearly as much for losing a toon. So I'll experiment at Wraith. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to experiment in Siege. So that's why I'm not really worried about Two-Face and the Riddler right now, because I don't have them leveled up. And then once I do have it leveled up, I have to really like experiment with them and try them out, and I'll have to do that all through Raid. By the time they get to a level where it might be worth it, I'm not so sure that it's going to be worth it in terms of Siege if there's only like 2 weeks, 1 week left after I've done all this. Also, take into account, I'm not a whale, so I'm not really putting hundreds of dollars into this game so that I could try to level up toons and then have them tomorrow and everything's fine. No, like if I'm going to have to level them up, it's going to take me 2 weeks and burn out all of my gems and all of my resources. It's just not worth it to me at that point, because I already, and this is the other point, another note, I already have 3 of those toons. I already have Alan Scott, Parasite, and Miss Martian at a 70-11 level. And so I'm going to try to negotiate and work around with them, because bonus toons are very, very important. I'm even going to try to drop Black Canary in every once in a while, because there's going to be a few matches where the team is just really, really a much, much lower power level than me, and I'll be able to overtake them easily with probably just one toon. So throwing Black Canary in there, having her being protected, hopefully, or having us go first would be helpful. However, it really depends on the matchup and how it looks, because the 60-10 can get knocked down really, really fast when you're in 70-11, even if the other team isn't, 2/3 of your power level. So going into all that, bonus toons are very important in Siege, because those extra points make a difference when you're trying to climb that ladder to get those extra frags, especially in revenge matches. Now, the thought process for revenge matches and the thought process for regular matches are a bit different. And I feel like I should be putting on something in the background, because I don't want to ramble and like have you guys just hear me talk. But as a matter of fact, okay, I'll give you the approach to Siege after I go over these kits real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the kits very superficially. I'm going to take all 3 of them together into Wraith PvP to kind of experiment with their kits and see how they work together. And then I'm going to do an extended version of the video where I take them individually into Wraith, and I'm going to use that video on the Patreon. So I'm going to try to give you some good details on them. And then while I'm in the PvP and while there's some action going on, then I'm going to give you like those other tips for PvP that I was talking about. Or not PvP, but for Siege. In terms of the difference between revenge matches and regular matches. And in fact, just so I don't do the old man thing, let me just, because I already have it written down, but I want to be sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, be sure. Revenge versus Norm. All right, so Alan Scott's an incredible toon. I would recommend, if you don't have many bonus toons and you have the resources, you've saved them up, and you're like, okay, I really want Jace Fox. Like these are the conditions I would say to like leveling up one of these bonus toons. Okay, I really want Jace Fox. I really do want him. This is a bonus toon now, so this is going to help me get through some of the revenge matches, some of the normal matches with more points. Is this a good toon? So you may look at those 6 on there, or 7 including Stephanie Brown, because I'm assuming if you're going through this kind of thought process, you don't have Jace Fox. So you're looking at him and you're like, okay, is it a good, do I really want Jace Fox that bad? Do I want those extra frags? Do I want to be sure that he's going to be L1, L2, L3 when I get him after Siege? Do I have the resources like readily available to where I can boost him up and it's not a big deal? So like, for example, with me and the Two-Face or the Riddler, I would have the resources after this raid to take at least one of them up to 70-11 within a reasonable short amount of time, within about a week. However, I'm not convinced that either one of them is good enough for me to actually make that happen. So, and then which one is the good one that you want to do it? So Alan Scott would be tops on my list if you were trying to choose between them. Let me double check to be on the safe side. Yeah, he's tops on the list as to who I would say you should level up in terms of damage dealing. He doesn't get a lot of shine. I love the vampire. Like he looks like a vampire in his Black Lantern suit. He doesn't get the shine that he used to, but he still cracks skulls. So on his A1, damage to an enemy, 20%, plus 20% damage per shield ally, plus 50% crit chance if Scott is shielded. Give 31% shield. Do I have that ringed out? I think it's 35% shield to himself and 20% shield to each teammate. Also gain death immunity on his A2, on his A3. Heavy damage to an enemy and apply 7 strength downs. Gain 100% shield if target dies, and that hits hard, by the way. Passive ability, 40% chance when it's ringed out to apply 10% shield to allies at the beginning of each enemy turn. That looms large, and in fact, I might need to go ahead and put that up. All right, and then this last one, I don't know why I didn't ring this one out. 44% chance to apply 2 strength downs to enemies that hit shielded allies. I might have to ring that one out. That one's actually pretty good. 50% chance to use Power Knuckle on enemies that damage Alan Scott. And that seems to proc a lot more whenever he's on defense. So Alan Scott, he hits hard. His kit is built to hit hard. He shields his allies. Some enemies can duck under shield, fine. However, He does shield his allies. He's he's a good, not exactly support champion, but he does support the team and then deal serious damage. So that's Alan Scott. Strength based, and I'm trying to get these back in my head because I haven't used Alan Scott in a while. I'll be frank. I have not used him in quite a while, so I'm trying to get that in my head. Damage based, shields, cool. Parasite. Oh, I just removed the Parasite. I do all that work to get him up there to make this like a nice fancy presentation, and then I just tap on him and he disappears. Come on now. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? It might help if I did Mystic instead of, yeah, there we are. All right, so Parasite. Parasite was one of those siege tunes that I really tried hard for to get his frags. I think I got like him L3 when it first came out. And then I did save up all the resources in the meantime to dump into him so I could take him like L3 that day, 70-11. So I actually saved up that entire month. This is the other part. And I forgot to mention this, but I'll mention this now. This is the other reason why I'm not going to level up Two-Face or Riddler, because they're all physical affinity. I just finished King Shark. I'm going to do a video of him probably right after I'm done with this. I just did King Shark. That took out the majority of my, in fact, all of my physical resources for leveling up. So now this month, what I'm going to do is take the slower approach, but I'm going to gather all my physical resources. King Shark was physical, Two-Face physical, Riddler physical, Jace is going to be physical. So I want to be able to have Jace leveled up 70-11 as soon as he drops, or at least close enough to it so that I can just, spend a few gems and then get him all the way up there. If I put those resources into Two-Face and Riddler, then it's going to put such a strain on my gem resources that when Jace comes, he's just going to have to wait, or I'm going to have to pray that I have more gems. So that's why, that's the really big point. That's like the major point as to why I'm not doing those two. Like, there's other points of me not being really sure of them and everything else, but also the fact that they would hinder my ability to then level up Jace as soon as possible is the final straw. So Parasite. I think Parasite's fun. He's a lot of fun. Is he good? Not necessarily, but you can use him in a lot of different situations, and he's a fun tune to mess with. So special damage. We already have a problem when it comes to pairing him with Alan Scott. Special damage to an enemy. Plus 20% damage per buff on target. Damage transfer up to 3 debuffs from Parasite to the target. He actually does this, or at least before Ultraman, he does this better than Ultraman did, because he'll transfer 3 of his debuffs to the target instead of just 1. And then he does the additional damage per buff on the target, which is pretty awesome. All right, so then Leech. Special damage to an enemy, gain 25% overheal, steal up to 3 buffs from the target. He does that very well. Damage to an enemy on Osmosis Blast. Damage to all enemies, 60% chance to steal up to 3 buffs from each target. Hit. 75% chance to purge up to 6 additional buffs from each target. Like, it's fun. You know what? Maybe I should experiment. I say this about every tune that I start reading the kit for again. I'm like, maybe I should try to use them more. So passive ability P1A4. At the end of each enemy turn, gain 15% true heal if Parasite is hit. 50% chance to double the healing received. He is pretty freaking tanky. Like, he heals a lot. He's pretty hard to put down. At least he was when I first took him out. So like, he's pretty hard to lay down finally. He doesn't necessarily hit so hard. He has to be ramped up a good bit and needs support in that area. He's stealing buffs, so he's not stealing intelligence necessarily, depending on who you're going up against. So it does take him a little bit to like cause damage. But as far as like just stripping buffs and stuff like that, he's a lot of fun. Each time Parasite hits an enemy, 95% chance to gain an intelligence up. Ooh. So now that's Parasite. Now let's go to Miss Martian. I think Miss Martian can be really good. You know, like, I was hoping that she'd be great, and the way that she's kind of kitted out, it seems like she's supposed to work with Connor Kent really well, which makes sense from a comic book, animation point of view. But special damage to an enemy also apply 25% turn me down if Miss Martian is shielded. That helps her running with Alan Scott. She's special damage like Parasite, but Alan Scott does get that shield. What is her upgrade? Gain 1 permanent and up. Whoa, that's very Spectre of her. What's permanent? That might be a reason to take her L4. Especially if she's running under somebody like Darkseid. And I have just enough purple essence right now. I'll have 100k and like after I'm done with this video and I'm gonna use that to take Enchantress L5, which means I'll go down to having 5k in purple essence. And I do want that permanent int up. Oy, okay, so Mind Link. Apply 28% shield and purge 4 debuff. This is a pretty good synergy so far with Alan Scott. And purge 4 buffs to or purge 4 debuffs to all allies. Well, I guess you purge the debuffs from allies and you have the shield to the allies, whatever. Apply crit immunity to a random ally. That's kind of bleh. Call assist from a random ally, which is cool. Special damage. Hopefully that call assist goes to Alan Scott. Special damage to all enemies and 75% chance to apply 3 int ups and 3 strength ups to all allies. That was kind of the whole thing where I thought it was like kind of like there was another thing about it too that kind of lends towards Connor because there's no reason for her to give strength ups really. But same thing with Hippolyta has both special damage and regular damage abilities. Reset Mind Link cooldown if Miss Martian is shielded. So she automatically resets it if she uses her A3, which leads you to believe or leads you to wanting to use the A2 first if you're doing it manually. Passive ability. Every time a teammate is buffed, 75% chance for Miss Martian to gain 4 int ups. That's awesome. Why isn't she used more? Why don't I use her more? Gain 15% turn meter as well. That's a pretty awesome ability. That helps her ramp. At the start of every ally turn, 75% chance to apply 10% shield on that ally. If the ally is a Titan, 15% additional shield. Gain 2 int ups at the start of combat. Wow. 2 isn't a whole lot, but it's still nice. I'm still leaning towards taking her L4 just for that A1 ability. But her kit reads pretty well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 3 of them to PvP, do a couple matches, and then I'm going to go ahead and go into the Patreon version of this video. So if you had to take any of them up, if I'm being frank, I would say go ahead and do it with, I mean, Miss Martian sounds pretty awesome. And I'm guessing from a mid-game perspective, she's probably pretty great. Alan Scott is a heavy hitter, so if you don't have a heavy hitting blue by now, then maybe take Alan Scott into it. Let's do we'll do a tomato can run real quick to figure out how I'm gonna build them, and then I'll do another couple runs where it's regular. Tomato can, but they do have Spectre. They have Shiva. So I'm gonna use all 3 of them. So I'm not really gonna be able to have a lead because I'm gonna need a taunter to deal with Shiva, who looks like 7011 L3. So let's go ahead and put Barda in there. Those gives us the stamina ups. And then let's go. This is actually literally gonna do nothing but just watch a team get wiped out. Probably shouldn't have even done it. But so now that I'm thinking about it, so they do great with shield. Oh, I said I was going to give the other bit of advice while there's action going on in the background, which basically about revenge matches versus normal matches in Siege. Looks like I'm about to fund the match anyway. So based on how Siege works, it's actually kind of fun in the sense of like you have 2 different versions of Siege within Siege, which is like the normal matches and the revenge matches. During the normal matches, you do not want to lose a toon at all, because when you lose a toon, you lose like 5 and then 4 points. And then 3, of course, you can't lose a 3, because if you lose a 3, you're dead. You didn't gain anything. So in the normal matches, you do not want to lose a match. You do not want to lose a toon in a match, put it that way. Now, when it comes to the revenge matches, it is okay to lose a toon. In fact, it's okay to lose your entire team except for 1, because you get the same number of points from actually participating in the match as you would if you had like all of your toons survive. The thing with revenge is you should not do revenge matches unless you have at least 2 of the bonus toons. Revenge is very, very good for stacking up points and getting points on the match. So if you have like 3 bonus toons or 4 bonus toons, it's perfect. Like, it's great. However, if you go into it with only 1 bonus toon, you only have 1 bonus toon, don't even bother with the revenge matches. Just stick with the normal matches, because then you're not doing a good energy to points ratio, and so you'll come out being inefficient if you do it with less than 2. So only do 2 bonus toons or more, which is why I have the 3, and I'm like, I'm okay with that. They're 3 solid toons. Hopefully I'll be able to get pretty deep into it without losing anything, but In the normal matches, I'm going to be so conservative that I would rather not have a bonus toon at all, as opposed to having one and losing one. I said I was going to keep a match going, so that way I could talk and you guys wouldn't have to just watch me. So let's see here. So in any case, I would rather I got to focus on one thing. I would rather have a very conservative lineup that has no bonus toons in it and then not lose in a normal match. However, if I feel like, for example, this is probably not going to be the case, that if I put 3 bonus toons in that are below, okay, I'll put Black Canary in a revenge match. If I think that the team I'm facing is like, 10K power and I have a 30K team, okay, then I'll jump it down to a 26K team, put Black Canary in, because even if Black Canary dies and all of the other ones die, as long as one lives and we still get the same amount of points plus the points from the bonus toons. So that is the thought process that I use in revenge matches. Ultra conservative in the normal matches, ultra conservative. And then when it comes to the revenge matches, I'm branching out a little bit, but I want to be sure to build a team that will have the most amount of bonus toons, but also able to win the match. Even if they all die, I just need one of them to survive. So that's the thought process. Let's go ahead and get into this. I was actually trying to work on a defensive team, like a go second team with King Shark, Chemo, and Bard, I believe. No. It was either Red Hood or Cassandra King. King Shark's pretty awesome. I'm liking him a lot. Is he going to be good? I don't know, but he's great. He's so much fun. So we are going to have to deal wheat. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put in Cheetah at lead. That will give Alan Scott a few more strength ups. That'll also make sure that we go first. Okay. Alan Scott's in there. We're gonna go first, and the first unless Impulse. Well, I don't think Impulse is that fast. All right, so here we go. Let's see what happens. See if I got some more with my I solemnly swear. All right, so I feel like all I did this entire episode was like ramble. I apologize if that's all that I did for you guys. So now which one is the turn meter down? This one does turn meter down. And no, it just says overheal. Is it? And see, this is why I'm even figuring out myself. Miss Martian. Now here's the thing. Do I want to try to steal this debuff immunity from Impulse, or do I want to go ahead and try to smack everyone and steal all their buffs, and then at least remove? Let's try that. See, this might, the more I'm thinking about it, this might be a huge positive for Siege when it comes to having to face Terra. He put those hit chance downs on him. Because then if he's going to remove that many of the buffs, then, I mean, it doesn't neuter Terra at all, but it does diminish her a good bit. Oh, Impulse, how dare you, sir. All right, so let's go ahead and let's try to smack Spectre. Cool, got him out the way. We're shielded, so that should have given us a retaliation, no? Dadgummit. Did he lose all of his shield in that moment? So that did not work out the way I would have liked it to. Okay, we'll just run it auto. I'll do one more team and then we'll move on to the Patreon. But I hope you found it helpful. Like, if you have any questions or anything, like, please comment below. But next, what I'm going to do is just try to take each of them individually in and try to find out what they're best at, and then try to come back together. Maybe have a lead or something. I'm going to experiment. Is basically what I'm going to do. Try to figure them out. As you can see, Parasite is hard to take down. They keep it. Now, granted, it's 2 negative affinities and then 1 neutral affinity, but still, he keeps healing and healing and healing, and it feels as though they're never going to be able to hit him hard enough to make him go down. Like, and he's never going to come out of the stun because of Black Flash. So we're going to have thousands of speed downs. Oh, did he hit? Did he? There we go. He went down. Okay. So, all right, you're going to try one more, and then I'll call it a video. So, Impulse is going to go first unless I have Cheetah there. Right? Right. So Cheetah kind of has to stay. So maybe it's just the order of operation that I need to work on. Maybe that's it. Where are you? Go back at this team. Should I take Impulse out first? Well, no, because I don't want Spectre to get triggered. That's the other thing. Spectre gets triggered, then all downhill because we don't have any debuff immunity. So then maybe I should be running, because especially since Miss Martian and Alan Scott do well with Shield, maybe this is all the more reason why I should have Green Lantern Hal Jordan at lead. You know what I mean? So let's see. Now, if I do this as a call assist, if I do this, it gives strength ups and int ups to all allies and resets mine cooldown. Well, you know what? Let's try that first. I'm not so sure that was the right decision, to be quite frank. Ooh. Feels like things are going worse than they did last time. And he's still going after Miss Martian. Like, what's up? Does Impulse have some kind of deep-seated hatred for Miss Martian that I don't know about from Young Justice? No idea. Thank you for the retaliation. Now, part of me wants to just go ahead and smack the hell out of Impulse and take him down, because he's giving us so many speed downs. However, that's going to set off Spectre. And he missed. So I guess that didn't matter. Oy. So am I taking the wrong approach? Should I put Martian Manhunter in there? It looks like that. Ugh. Alright, so retreat. Especially with the hit chance downs, I can't do anything with it. I can't do anything with it. So that means I think I have to take out Impulse first and then just try to cope with Impulse. Yeah, I said one more last one. I want to beat this team for the video. Just for the YouTubers. Going at it one more time with this. Like this, and this is going to be the trouble that you'll have in Siege a lot. Like it's more interesting because you can't just use the same lineups every time if you want to maintain your team's integrity, like not lose any toons or something like that. Okay, so we got rid of Impulse. Spectre stunned. Okay, that was a much better result. Oh, it was. It was until it wasn't. It was until it wasn't. Nice. Oh. Help me. Help me. So what am I supposed to do now, guys? I want to keep all three of these bonus toons in there and beat this Hal Jordan team. But if I go after Impulse first, I'll kill him. But should I go after Black Flash first? He's the one who resets our turn meter all the damn time. Right? Let's try Black Flash first. Is this 25% overheal, steal 3 buffs? He has no buff. I kind of want to save that. And he has no buffs again because of what Cheetah just did. I kind of want to steal all their debuff immunity. Alright, now let's mind link it up, I guess. So at least we got a retaliation, but Spectre goes off because Spectre is evil. I know they say hero, but that's not how I feel lately. At least not today. All right, so can we get a chance to go? No? Oh, thank you, Alan Scott. All I need is Alan Scott to get one turn. I need him to get one turn. He's not gonna get one turn, is he? Well, guys, I'm going to call this a video because I'm going to have to remove some of these toons and rebuild it differently. So the video is going to continue on for my Patreon viewers, for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.